last few weeks, I've really been wondering who could be the WWE 2K24 showcase star. That's assuming we are actually going to get a showcase mode. So who are some of the top names? Let me know in the comments, but we're going to go through that list and one potential alternative we could see. I don't think anybody has mentioned yet. So some of the potential showcase stars, you could run through a list of any number of wrestlers that will qualify for this. One of the first ones I want to talk about is Triple H. The game, the King of Kings, all of it. All of the many theme songs of Triple H. His career is huge. He retired officially at WrestleMania by putting his boots in the ring. And now he's like running WWE. Feels like an easy showcase to do, where you want to put together 13 to 15 matches highlighting his career from his early days of D-Generation X. You can go further back as the Blue Blood, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, doing the matches against The Rock that are historical, Stone Cold Steve Austin, end of an era match with the special guest referee Shawn Michaels included, Batista and Hell in a Cell, his unsanctioned match at WrestleMania 33 with Seth Rollins, just to throw some more modern stuff in there. Not to mention his feud with Randy Orton. Didn't really mention, you know, the later half of D-Generation X, Evolution, because Ric Flair isn't there. You can't totally do DX without Billy Gunn. So if they were to do a Triple H showcase, you might just want to focus in on his solo career. And you could totally do that. I understand Evolution, DX being massive parts of like his whole career, but they are a part of his career. And if they can't pull it off, then you could still do his singles run, especially during the Attitude Era and his Reign of Terror. Then what about his tag team partner, HBK Shawn Michaels? Shawn Michaels is somebody else that we could. He's running NXT down there. And an HBK showcase works really well. You probably can't do the Ric Flair match, the retirement match, but you got 2 WrestleMania matches against The Undertaker. You got his Hell in a Cell against Taker. You've got the matches against Triple H as well at SummerSlam. You got D-Generation X you could put in there. You could try to throw something in with the Rockers maybe. The ladder match against Razor Ramon. I also love his match with Mankind at Mind Games. It's one of my more favorite HBK Mankind matches, just as they're separate individual superstars, but those two together, it's really, really cool to watch. The list goes on and on with HBK, from televised matches on Raw and SmackDown to the pay-per-views, giant WrestleMania matches. But another wrestler that is kind of intertwined with these guys too, The Undertaker, because for the later half of his career, Taker had a lot of matches with Shawn Michaels, Triple H, you know, mixed in both of them. He's had matches, great matches with Batista, Kurt Angle. He's got like a triple threat match. I remember at like Vengeance in 2002 with Rock and Angle. All the different versions of Undertaker that we have seen over the years. We've also gotten it in previous years' games. You don't have to just focus on Undertaker's WrestleMania streak. There are matches across decades of Undertaker where you could put in there, and that would give you huge unlockables for different arenas, the different title belts, all the versions of Undertaker that, again, we've already seen these, but it's 2K. They'll probably toss it in again anyways. Because his career spans across so many years, you get all of those different arenas as well, I feel, from WWE Monday Night Raw to SmackDown, WrestleManias, and a lot of stuff from Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression they could really highlight. Big reason why I lean on Undertaker as well as the potential showcase star is Taker is now fully retired. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's done the Last Ride documentary. He's come out and been more vocal. He's done interviews left and right. He's got his one-man dead man show that he does, and he's still actively doing it right now all the way through to February. I kind of feel like Undertaker, from a marketing perspective, really lines up well to be the showcase star because he's still active, promoting, doing stuff with WWE. Those sit-down interviews, again, if they are going to do the same showcase style as they did with 22 and 23, those sit-down interview things with Undertaker could be really cool. And if they want to keep that similar approach, I think it kind of fits really, really well. And you go from Undertaker promoting his one-man dead man show through to March, and then you get into 2K, and you can pull a lot of interviews and a lot of other people being interviewed to talk about The Undertaker. Now, somebody else on the list that probably, I don't know if really it would happen or not. We've kind of seen it a little bit, but The Rock. And they say The Rock because, well, he's come back. They tried last year, apparently, according to reports, to have The Rock take on Roman Reigns. According to The Rock, that didn't work out. And now we're seeing with WrestleMania 40, it's getting very likely we're going to see this Rock Roman match. So I lean on The Rock only because the marketing behind it would be huge. You put The Rock's face on the cover of the game, assuming he's on the cover, but it sounds like Cody's probably on the cover. But if you put The Rock in there, and he's going to be the showcase star. That's a big thing you can market behind. The Rock is easy to promote, and you have just a massive history from The Rock's debut match at Survivor Series. You could go for the Nation of Domination stuff. Well, you can't because you got Mark Henry's gone, but you know what I mean? Like, you could pull stuff for his matches with Triple H, the trilogy against Austin, matches against Kurt Angle, Hulk Hogan, WrestleMania 18. Great matches, and the timing works well. I know 2K probably didn't know and isn't in the know of The Rock is going to appear and then, oh, we're going to do a showcase around him. I understand that, but just from WWE side, they can position to 2K over the last, say, 2 years. Who do we want the upcoming superstars to be? Who do we want the upcoming showcase star to be for this thing? And they can kind of cherry pick, because whether they knew it was going to be The Rock returning or not in this final run this year, WWE can still have turned to 2K and said, we want The Rock to be the showcase star for 24, and then they just run with it. And then, no, you got a happy accident with The Rock being the showcase guy. You got Cody on the cover potentially, and then you got The Rock and Roman at WrestleMania 40. And then I think Randy Orton is another contender to do a showcase mode around. Match against Cactus Jack, the matches with Triple H and Batista, Evolution, minus Ric Flair because he's in AEW. He's had matches with Undertaker, the matches with John Cena. Can't pull things from Edge, potentially, unless they got some contract working with Edge so that he can appear in the game still. But Randy's career is massive. His return was huge. The timing for his return does work out quite well. Now, the other mode that I do see talked about a lot, 40 years of WrestleMania. They could do it. They could give it to us this year. Go all the way from 1 to 39. I'm on the fence about it because we had 30 years of WrestleMania from 2K14 and it was wonderful. So obviously a lot of fans want it again, and a lot of fans want to get away from this current version of showcase mode that we've gotten the last 2 years because I don't think it's overly well received. The list of matches for 30 years of WrestleMania went through all of the different eras. Now, you could tweak this to try and highlight some different matches. Just my concern is with doing a 40 years of Mania, you get some overlap, and I don't think they want to do any overlap. But when the 30 years of Mania came out, you did have some of the biggest matches ever at WrestleMania. So because you've already done that, how else can you do it unless they do 40 years of WWE? So maybe if they do something like this, they get away from the moniker of WrestleMania and they simply give you 40 years of WWE, and they can cherry pick a lot better matches and moments over the last 40 years. To me, that would make it easier because you can highlight so many different wrestlers, so many different matches, get the archive footage in there, slap it in, and maybe get away from the slingshot tech stuff and just give us the archive footage for the rivalry and then do the match and have some fun sequences to do during the match. You won't be able to get the commentary in there, but you could give us modern commentary, or you could just scrap commentary still. Now, another one that I want to talk to you about has to do with, well, getting away from a traditional showcase mode. But I do want to ask you guys if you could hit the subscribe button, because as I look at the stats here on the channel, about 55% of you are not subscribed, but you do watch the channel. So if you can do that, we're trying to get to 100,000 this year, and it would mean a lot. And I'll try to keep giving you more 2K content every single week. But the other thing I want to cover is the potential for a Ruthless Aggression era mode. Now, it may not be able to do that so well because you're missing a lot of wrestlers. Edge, Jericho, you're not doing Benoit. There's a lot of different feuds within there that you gotta skip and you gotta work around to make a Ruthless Aggression mode work. A lot of people always refer back to saying, we need another Attitude Era mode. Let's do something with Attitude Era. I love Attitude Era because that's what I grew up with. And then I also watched, I never stopped watching, but I also watched so much of the Ruthless Aggression era. And I have just as many memories from that era as I do Attitude Era. But I think with the next crop of wrestling fans, younger fans than me, they've grown up with Ruthless Aggression. That was their childhood. They grew up with Ray and Eddie and Edge and Kurt Angle and Undertaker and Batista being World Heavyweight Champion, John Cena being the focal center point of all of that, really. Brock Lesnar. Ruthless Aggression era is huge for so many fans. They could cherry pick 13 matches from Ruthless Aggression and give you a good variety, and you could see different types of matches like casket matches, but you could also see things like special guest referee and others that made their way through the Ruthless Aggression era. You are then highlighting so many wrestlers from Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Randy Orton, John Cena, Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero, JBL, on and on the list goes. And I think a Ruthless Aggression mode that covers those matches in those moments, it'd be kind of refreshing. I've seen Stone Cold, I've seen The Rock. Would I play it again and love it? Absolutely, but I'd love to see something fresh and a fresh take on it. But there's one other thing 2K could be doing in just a matter of months when it comes to 2K24. They could not do showcase mode. I know I've certainly talked about all the different possibilities of showcase mode, who could be in it, who they could cover, who could they do for this and that, and all the different modes and WrestleMania modes and all this stuff. There's a possibility they just don't even do it. They did it 2 years in a row, and I think that they were kind of lackluster and kind of mid. What if they don't do it? They scrap that and they do something different, or they just don't do it at all. What if by giving up the showcase mode, they put more time and attention, energy, focus into a better career mode, more features for universe mode, more features for my GM and the core game itself. And they do something different, something new and innovative to try and spark more interest into the game. Maybe they give you a Towers mode feature of Roman Reigns. Maybe they take Showcase and they kind of tweak it into the form of DLC. We really don't know, but we can't discount the fact that Showcase might not be there. But speaking of DLC, there's a lot of names that we could see just for that. So click this video because we're talking about all the big possibilities, our big predictions for the DLC for 2K24. Have a great day, everybody. See ya.